stay in the background of the call too. I'm going to mute myself, okay?
Am I live on mine?
We're all live, guys.
I know. But I mean on Instagram. There we go.
You should be. I'm going to check for you right now.
Season's changed, Danny.
Yes, Lord.
Winter blues, baby. Don't let them get you down. We got something for you. A little expose taking us into the broadcast, folks. How many of you guys remember expose? All right. What is going on, everyone? As always,
I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't see anything on my Instagram.
All right, well, let's just ride out the storm, kids. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the broadcast. We got our boy John on working some kinks out for us right now. So bear with us. I know we said that last time as well, but we're just trying to perfect this thing here. And I've been a little tardy to the party, so to speak, because of what I've been dealing with and busy and whatnot. But anyway, here we are, season 7, episode 8 of the KFit Talk podcast with Jon Koga and Danny K, coming at you live. I'm up here in New York. Danny's down there in Westminster, Maryland. We want to welcome you guys to the broadcast. Those of you guys first-time listeners right now out there on the podcast, because it is a podcast, so make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. We are live across the social media platforms as well, so make sure you guys check out KFit Talk across Instagram, Twitter. Actually, I might even have a Twitter. Instagram. What do we got? YouTube, excuse me, and also on Facebook. All right, to get the live version of this. If not, sit back and enjoy should I say, chew the fat with us for the next hour or so on our podcast across all podcast platforms. That's a tongue twister, Danny.
Right?
Season 7, episode 8. And Danny, what do you got going on? Introduce yourself to our listeners, our friends, and everybody out there that's been supportive of this podcast. I got shit pinging and blinging over here. It's driving me nuts.
It's because we're not live on Instagram, so I'm trying to get Instagram up live.
Nuts,
So Justice had an issue with her neck. And she she had a hard time walking and all that stuff. So I called my acupuncturist on Friday. He got her in. She's feeling a little better. She's running and stuff like that, but she still can't like jump up and rear up because of her neck or whatever. But every now and then got to get her a little acupuncture treatment. And then this guy comes in and comes to the door and says, hey, we're going to turn the water off for a half hour. I'm like, okay. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Well, the dentist next door needs water to like work.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, the water's back on and I'm all cool, and then he just, right before we came on, he came to my door again and he was like, oh, there's another leak up further up. So we're going to have it off. It's going to be 2 hours. I'm like, did you let the dentist know?
Oh,
and they're like, yeah, we just told him. I'm like, okay, and you're still alive? You're still alive? Wow. They need water to like work,
Yeah, for sure. We need water to live. So Danny, what I'm trying to get caught up on the weekend review with you here. So I did see that about Justice. Obviously, we know Justice is a tough little cookie and she's gonna be just fine. We just hope that you keep stay strong as you always do for everybody, including your little girl there. And it's still going to work out. And shout out to, what's your acupuncturist name again?
Luke Pritchard.
Luke, what's up, Luke? Wish I had Luke up here, man. I'd be having him poking me as well, man.
Tell me about it. He is the best.
So listen, our little something podcast that we do each week on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time, USA time. Shout out to all of our subscribers and listening to us and our viewers around the country, because we are being heard and seen. And my God, I think we're at 16 or 17 countries right now. So thank you to all of our listeners internationally. We do have a little sponsor that we work with here at KFit Talk with Danny and myself. It's Sizzle International. Let me hold it up. SISEL Sizzle is an acronym standing for Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, and Longevity, giving us some of the most amazing, actually, not the most amazing, the best products you can actually put in your body and on your body, all right, as far as health and wellness is concerned. So check it out. Make sure you guys will post the link to some of the products they have. I'm sure we'll cover a product. We'll talk about a product today. And Sizzle's international. So if you guys are listening from Germany, Spain, Italy, wherever you guys are at, we have contacts for you and distributors out there fucking pinging and blinging on me, man. They're trying my patience. I dropped an F-bomb. Excuse me for dropping the F-bomb.
What the fuck?
Offended. Wow, this is gonna be a good one today. This is gonna be a good one. So yeah, we got Sizzle in all countries, and if you guys want information on it, we'll get you guys. We've got some great products, really, really good products that definitely changed my life and changed Danny's lives and changed many of my members and clients' lives. So we're big fans of Sizzle and the products that they have. So Danny, last week we missed. It was voting. It was a Tuesday. It was a voting day. I'd rather not, to be honest with you. I'd rather not get too deep into the voting process because I'm a little disappointed with it. And well, maybe let's leave it alone. You know, it is what it is. You know, the key thing and the main thing is that if you voted, good for you. Yeah, you did your job. You know, if you don't think it was heard, you know, unfortunately, things got to be changed and fixed. And until then, just keep voting, man. Just keep voting and letting your voice be heard, right, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, it was heard. It was heard.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
That's why they have to stop it, and that's why we have election week, because the voices were heard. The voices were heard. We're talking election fraud, but what?
No, you can't say that, Danny. That's not true. You're a conspiracy theorist.
What? Huh?
Man, I mean, can't we just? I mean, you know,
say something.
We could electric cars and solar roof, putting man on the moon. You know how we can't cure cancer or come up with a freaking election system that lasts maybe. I'll even give them make it election 2 days, but an election week, man.
No. So the thing is, Florida has 23.1 million people. They counted all their votes in one day. Arizona has 3.1 million people. They still counting? Well, I guess they're done now.
Well, when you're attorney general or state general, whatever the hell she is in charge.
Is in charge. Oh, come on, what? Ain't nothing to see here. Ain't nothing to see here, folks. Ain't nothing to see here.
I'm going down the rabbit hole. I don't want to bore our listeners international because you guys are laughing at us as it is.
No, they're dealing with the same thing, especially in Brazil. They're dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. All right, so listen, you know what? We got past and you know what's more important, Danny? We also had a Veterans Day this past weekend. So let's make a shout out to our veterans out there, past and present. We appreciate you guys. We're forever grateful. I know Danny and myself are, as Danny is, her body's completely inked and tattooed with her beliefs and her support of this country, and also of our more importantly our veterans who allow us to let our heads hit the pillow at night and not have to worry about hearing bombs dropping on the corners of the neighborhoods that we live in. You know, maybe you might hear gunshots, but that's a whole nother story. You know, but you know, shout out to our veterans, man. And thank a veteran, hug a veteran, kiss a veteran, support a veteran, any single chance you get. We got to address the problem with these homeless veterans, Danny, and these veterans that can't get medical care or sleeping on the streets, man. You know, how are we providing zillions, and I'm talking both parties, Republican and Democratic. How do these guys raise $500 million in a week for their ads to put on TV, but yet you can't put these freaking homeless veterans up in the Waldorf Astoria? Shame on you, America. Shame on you, politicians, okay? Bunch of effing hypocrites. Take care of your veterans, okay? Take care of your damn veterans. They took care of you. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Oh, God, Danny, you came out of the gate on the wrong foot, man.
No, it's all good. Why is that wrong foot? Why expressing your feelings, expressing your emotions? Why is that the wrong foot? See, most people, like, they hide from their emotions, they hide from their feelings, and that's part of, like, why people are, like, depressed, you know, because you're hiding your feelings. Like, why you hiding? Why you hiding your opinion? Because you're scared that, you know, you don't want to. And I get, out of respect, you know, respect. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings, that kind of thing. But you know, out of you're trying to, you know, save someone's feelings, but no one else is trying to save your feelings because they're able to say what they want to say, but you can't say what you want to say. Nah.
Yep. Thank you for saying that.
Nah.
Danny, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Really, thank you for saying that. And I'll tell you what, I look at some of these commercials on TVs with these, like even to tunnel T2T.org, plug to the T2T, tunnel to tunnel towers that provides homes for these veterans that lost their arms and legs, and these homes that they can live in, the adaptable homes that they call them, that can lower the kitchen sink down or wheelchair accessible, and everything is high tech because these veterans came back from getting their arms and legs blown off. They're blind, and their families are trying to figure it out, how to put a smile on their face every day because their dad or their mom went and fought for this country, man. We cannot listen, man. You want to take half of my, well, maybe not half, but you want to take a quarter of my paycheck out and devote it and send it right to these veterans. Take it, man. I'll work my ass even harder. But don't be taking this money out to pay for all sorts of bullshit that we think that we're being held responsible and accountable for. I don't play that game, Danny. But once again, let your voice be heard and help out. The other night I brought food from the spot, had a shitload of meals left over, and I was pulling down and on my way home, and I saw there was a thing going on the side of the road for veterans and homeless. Boom, pulled up, guys. Here, that's helping. That's contributing. Enjoy these meals.
Yes.
That goes a long way, man. Sometimes
Shout out to the Spot Cafe, baby, up in New York.
Yeah, Spot. We got some good stuff going on. We'll get into that at another date and time. But listen, I'm really, really, as Danny is, and I've been falling short on my post, but Veterans Day, halfway through the day, I realized what it was. And I saw one of Danny's posts. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get something, just to show our support for Veterans Day. Danny's got it inked all over her body. So we know how much Danny loves and appreciates. So shout out to our veterans. And I know you guys in other countries have your own version of Veterans Day. And shout out to those veterans in other countries that, gave their life or giving their lives right now. So the people in your country can have freedom and sleep well at night, Danny,
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a depressing time right now, Danny. We know that. It's a depressing time, but let's get back to our lane, the fitness industry, and let's talk about, right now for many of you listening. Danny K and myself, we're on the East Coast of the United States, and we're going to be coming into some tough weather, man. Some brutal weather, some winter weather. We like to say you get the winter blues, So those of you guys that are smiling from ear to ear down in Florida or warmer climates that listening to this podcast, you guys kind of can't relate to it. You might have your own little burnout or fatigue because of something else, but we have something up here. It's called winter blues or cabin fever, and we're coming into that right now. And it definitely, and Danny will attest to this, and she'll give her input on it and opinion, that we tend to, especially the timing of it sucks. It goes right into the holidays. It gets cold. We got comfort food. We got excuses. And then of course, we got this man-made fictitious freaking holiday that New Year's, that you have to have a New Year's resolution. So it's all times in, it's all calculated. Okay.
Right.
The holidays, the New Year's resolution, the winter blues, it equals and it boils down to one word: an excuse. Okay. Excuse. We can find an excuse to not keep ourselves healthy and fit and continue on our fitness regimens and journeys, because it's that simple. It's that simple to not want to go to the gym on Black Friday to go shopping, or to, you got 16 holiday parties you have to go to, and you just conveniently convince ourselves that I'm going to start on January 2nd or January 1st. And it's like, come on already. Don't get sucked into that bullshit. Keep yourself healthy. But we're going to discuss ways to beat the winter blues. Those of you guys listening, just try to maybe associate it or correlate it with something that's obviously not winter related for you, but maybe a time of the year. Like we all have this time of the year, whether it's the holidays, you guys are celebrating the holidays, something that's going to let you have an excuse. Now, cold weather, Danny hates the cold weather. We know that.
I absolutely hate.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a former professional snowboarder, so I like to, I find my lane in the winter time. And my decrepit, old, crotchety old ass is not going on a snowboard. No, yes, it is. So don't find that excuse, guys. You look for that excuse, you're gonna find the excuse. But we're gonna keep it to the topic of winter blues. All right, Danny, you know it as well as I do. I'm doing this a long freaking time. The drop off from now until New Year's, all right, is ridiculous. And there is some I'm not gonna talk on the seasonal depression because I'm not an expert. Maybe we'll bring an expert on to discuss seasonal depression because there is something that's called that. But let's keep it in layman's terms as suffering and getting prepared for the winter blues. Danny, what advice can we offer our listeners to kind of getting through that time?
I mean, I've been thinking about it, and honestly, I'm not quite sure exactly outside of it. You just have to do it. I mean, like there's no other option. Like I don't want to get up out of bed. It's dark. It's cold. I hate the cold. I would rather be sleeping than getting up and, getting ready and getting to the gym and working out and stuff like that. But there's nothing else that staying in bed sleeping is not an option for me. You know what I mean? Like, so put your big girl panties on. Pull your boots up from the bootstraps or however that saying is. And you just have to do it. I mean, my alarm goes off and I do it. There's absolutely no other option. I mean, you get, do I want to work out? No. Shit, when it's 100 degrees out and sunny, I don't want to work out either. So, I mean, it's not the weather that makes me not want to work out. I don't want to get up out of bed, but we get up out of bed, we go to work, and but you still have to stay. Some activity level has to remain up, because if you don't, that continues to shoot that depression down even more. It's harder to get outside because once you get home from work, it's dark. All this stuff. Everybody can have 1,000,001 excuses as to why why winter is just I'm just gonna put the hibernate and put the fat suit on and whatever, and I'll take care of it when the weather gets warmer. But you're doing yourself a disservice, not just physically with the weight gain and of course more weight gain, more joint pain, but you're also doing yourself a disservice with your mentality. And at the end of the day, again, we say this all the time, John, we can give all kinds of motivational speeches and quotes and we can tell you everything to do, but that person has to take the action. You have to take the action. And what do you want more? Do you want to stay in bed more, or do you want to get moving? Do you want to, stay in bed and sleep and, and just kind of let the winter woes, and the woos take you over? Or do you want to take the power back and actually get up out of bed, get your shit going, ball cry, cricks, click, kick, scream, whatever you got to do. But no one says you have to be happy doing it. You know what I mean? No one else says you have to like put a smile on your face to like get up out of a warm bed into a cold house. But it's just you have to take action. So at the end of the day, it falls on, what do you want more? Do you want your mental stability there, or do you want your mental illness to take over?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. Well, let's break down the significance and the importance of maintaining a some kind of a fitness regimen from now until the winter. And there's a couple of contributing factors that you guys need to know. One, this is not me pulling this out of my ass. This is legit. Okay, that would be an ugly sight, first of all. So if you threw up in your mouth, I apologize. Right now, these November, December, and January are known, and I spoke to a clinical psychologist that I used to train anyway, that this is the most, when it comes to depression and medications being prescribed, this time of the year, there are the most suicides, there are the most depressive states, there are the most office visits, forced visiting. And if you're a psychologist or a psychologist, please contribute, drop us a comment. This time of the year, when people get depressed because of finances, because the loss of a loved one, it just gets magnified and amplified 100-fold my humble opinion, this time of the year, because we want that person there, because we want to be able to buy our kids a freaking Lego set, because we want to be able to, sustain a mental clarity and focus throughout the holidays. And it's difficult, guys. You're not in this alone. So we have found, and studies have found, and forget studies, Danny Kaye and myself, after 60 something years between us in this industry, I'm here to tell you guys that fitness is the best medication for us right now. Mind you, I'm saying that, I'm using that term medication loosely. If you need serious medication because of a clinical evaluation, I'm not saying, don't take your Prozac, okay?
Right.
I'm telling you to get involved in a fitness regimen. So with the winter blues facing us, this is what I've been able to deduct over these years. So yeah, we don't want to get in that car and start the car. It's freaking 40 below. I don't have an electric starter on my car. Whatever the case, I don't want to have to drive to the gym. So let's break this down into the easiest, simplest form that we can contribute with some kind of advice. Danny said, "Shit, it's tough because Danny and myself suffered through this a little bit because Danny has to go to a gym obviously to for our clients, but let's look at it this way." So let's look at it as let's bring the online workouts into this right now, okay? Online workouts were really big throughout the pandemic, okay? Came out of the pandemic, people got back to the gym, but don't exclude if you guys don't want to leave your house, okay? Danny Kaye, reach out to Danny. Forget going to YouTube or going to your favorite Instagram girl that doesn't know her freaking ass from her elbow. Reach out to Danny. Let's get you guys on a workout you can do from home. Don't not work out because I can't do it. Listen, guys, I know your Peloton has clothes piled up a mile high on it right now. I know it does.
Right.
I know your elliptical that you got, and your Gazelle that Tony Little rode 30 years ago is loaded with freaking, and you guys are laughing, and loaded with clothes on it, and there's dust on it. Dust the shit off, okay? Let's conquer the winter blues right now. And I'm joking around. Throw in your Sean T, throw in your peanut, do something. If you're moving, you're winning. All right, you got to do something, but don't use the excuse that, man, I don't want to get up. It's too cold to get out there. It's too, get that thermogenic state when your body's cold, and it's going to even work that much harder and stronger for you guys to burn even more fat. It's going to require your body to create more heat to burn that fat, to burn that calorie. All right, so don't use it as an excuse. And I'm telling you right now, you guys got to understand something. Going into these holiday seasons, all bets, all odds are against us, okay? We're eating more shit. We started with Halloween, okay? We're going to be more depressed. We're coming into Thanksgiving. Let's not even talk about Thanksgiving Day. Let's talk about the week after, leftovers that we're going to start gobbling down, for lack of a better phrase. We're going to be grazing on this shit for a week, okay? Just when you think that's done, you got holiday parties, you got Christmas, you got Hanukkah, you got Kwanzaa, you got whatever the heck else you celebrate. And thereafter, it's going to carry over with more sorts of leftovers and excuses and parties. So you got to combat it while you're going through it. You got to take on these winter blues before that first freaking snow hits your property, okay? So Danny, you know it. I mean, listen, we love, we're up front. We love to have our people in front of us, our members, our clients. That's just who we are. But Danny, you got a very successful online business that anybody listen, I don't care what country you're in, Danny can write you guys up a nice program for you to get you guys through the winter blues, and try it. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? Danny, talk to me.
I mean, and also, just thinking now, if you stay active throughout the whole entire year, and I'm not saying every single day, but I'm just saying if you keep a workout routine regimen, like on a consistent basis, it makes it that much easier for the winter time, because I mean, like you said, it's kind of like, it's medication, it might not be the end all be all medication for depression and stuff like that. But I mean, it is a sort of, and it is a form of medication for depression of any sorts. So if you're keeping it going throughout the year, when the latter part of October, November, December, when those times hit, as the holidays come in, yes, it might be harder for you to get into the gym, or, pop that DVD in, or use that, YouTube workout or the Peloton or whatever. But if you stay consistent, I don't mean consistency doesn't mean every single day all the time, right?
Right.
Consistency means just staying with it. If it's 2 days this week, if it's 3 days next week, if it's 5 days the week after, you're staying consistent with it. You're not dropping off, right? So and it does make the winter blues that much easier to deal with. It's like it's those people, and probably we know this all the time. We've seen it all the time, where or or just talking to like friends or whatever who has not worked out for 6 7 months, and then all of a sudden November, that time change comes, it gets darker, and people are like, oh my god, I'm so depressed, all this depression sets in. If they would have been working out for the past 6 months on some sort of routine, I bet you, and I can almost guarantee that the winter woos would not hit them as hard as it does.
I agree.
As it does hit those people that don't work out on a consistent basis. So, guys, I mean, it's we say it all the time. I have one of my little ad things is my summer body is loading. Like the winter time is when summer bodies are made. And it's so true. Like you all wait till you just kind of like, not you all, but generalizing, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, they just kind of wait for the winter to go. I'm just gonna hibernate. It's too cold. You make up all these kinds of excuses, right, to not do something for you. And then you're gonna sit there in the next breath, bitch and complain that you're depressed and you're achy and yeah, but I got some medicine for that. And I'm not
Exactly.
talking about a pill. You know what I mean? If you stay active and moving all year round, a couple of days, even if it's just a couple of days a week, even if it's just 5 10 minutes a day,
Yep.
you're going to be better off when the winter blues come. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you that it's
For
going to
sure.
work.
And I'll tell you what, guys, that one of the keys to getting you through that those winter workouts is music, guys. You guys know music is the driving force. I say it, Danny says it all the time. You guys have to put together a playlist of your favorite freaking songs. Put it together. The music that moves you, okay, is going to move you throughout that workout. I don't care if it's a yoga class, a Pilates class, a line dancing class, a Koga workout class, a boxing. Put together a playlist that's going to move you, and it's going to spark an emotion, whether it's about what we said, a loved one. You got to spark that emotion to make some kind of change in your life. So let the hairs on the back of your neck stand up when you're working out because of a song that comes on. Put together your own. You're not relying on my playlist. Not everybody well, a lot of people like my music, but you put together a playlist. And I'm telling you, one half the battle. Put your headsets on, get locked into your own little world in your living room, in your kitchen, wherever the heck you want to do your
Yep.
workout. And I'm telling you, let the music take you away and just get it done. You're gonna feel better about it, and day after day after day that passes, you're gonna be fighting those winter blues, which takes me, Danny, and leads me into our next topic. Okay. So our next topic, now I've done my research on this next topic, okay? So, guys, our next topic has to do with actually, getting over the winter blues, as our topics normally do. They kind of complement each other or kind of ad lib into the next topic. So, the next topic, and I did my research on it, has to do with creating and forming a habit. Okay, I'm not talking about a bad habit. Well, I know it goes both ways with this as well. But and it does, and Danny knows as a former addict. Danny can tell you that. But I'm going to talk about it hopefully in with regards to doing something good for yourself, not something bad for yourself. Okay, so there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Maxwell Martz, I believe, for 1960. He's a plastic surgeon, and he created the term 21 days to form a habit. All right. Don't quote me on it. I'm pretty sure that was his name. Maxwell Marx. He's a plastic surgeon in the 60s. And he started the 21 day. It takes 21 days to form a habit. Okay. So that actually has been researched. It's been studied. It's been put to the test. I actually did it as well with some of the members and stuff that I had. And actually, I think Beachbody, shout out to Beachbody. I think they actually, Autumn Calabria, I think they had something called 21 Day Fix, which was actually a pretty decent program from what I understand. We got to get our props where props are due. But getting back to where we are here, 21 days to form a habit. What does that mean? If you do something enough consistent, as Danny always mentions, consistent over 21 days, it should form a habit and become habit forming in a good sense of the word habit. Now hear me out. Some of the research on both sides said, no, it's really 60 something days. But you know what? Who can do anything? If you tell your brain, if this crazy computer we have underneath this cap, okay, that I'm wearing, if I told the mice chasing the cheese underneath this hat in my freaking head that it's going to take 61 days before I'm going to accomplish or get something done, or if I tell myself it's going to take 21 days if I work a little harder, trust me, I'm going for the 21-day fix. Okay. So when they came out with the 20, I actually like that they shortened it with the stipulations that you have to stay more focused and you have to work harder. Okay. So with fitness, if you're starting a fitness journey, or if you want to get through the winter blues, tell yourself, as Dan, I always refer back to Danny, because Danny was always like, baby steps. She has a saying, crawl before you walk, before you blah, blah, blah. She'll tell you. So do something that you're gonna commit. You're gonna look in the mirror, write it down, tape Post-its all over your freaking house, your refrigerator, your car, your mirrors in your bathroom, to what you're gonna do for the next 21 days consistently. Is it gonna be a sit-up? Is it gonna be a push-up? Is it gonna be I'm gonna pop on one of my Koga workouts? Am I gonna join Danny K's live workouts every Wednesday with Tony? Get something that you're gonna tell yourself. It doesn't have to be for an hour, guys. Commit to it over 21 days. And by that 22nd day, I think it's going to take it's going to be sooner than that personally. And let's turn that into a habit, a good habit in the true sense of the word habit. Let's turn it into a positive. Okay. So let's get you to commit to doing something, whether it's sit-ups one day. Danny's salivating. I can't wait to hear what Danny has to say. I want you guys to write down, and if you need help with us, reach out to Danny or myself. We'll give you a 21-day program we want you guys to commit to. We'll take the guesswork right out of it for you, okay? For a small fee of $3,000, I have no problem writing you up a little I'm joking. So guys, let us know if you need help with this. And if you guys are out there, trainers out there and therapists and whatnot, drop your comments. Give us some input, some insight that can help our listeners and our subscribers to take on this 21-day habit forming fix. Danny, I mean, talk to me, Danny. What do you have to say about this 21 days? And you've seen both sides of it. You really have.
Again, like you just gotta do it. Like, what do you want more? And I can't express that enough. Like, I can't go in. I mean, unless you go and pay me, I can't go in and yank you out of the bed and force you to do a sit up or a squat or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's got to be something that you want to do. Because it's what's that saying? If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way of getting it. Doing it. If not, you're going to find an excuse. So, I like the 21-day challenge. A lot of times there's, the 30-day challenge, or, like the push-ups, the squats, the whatever. But, we're not really telling you what to do for 21 days. We're just telling you, just do something for 21 days. Walk around your building, and maybe, add a lap every walk around your building and every week add another lap. Maybe you're walking 2 laps, maybe 3 laps, whatever, and okay, well, today's raining, so I guess I don't get to do it. Well, do you work in a building where there's stairs? You do stairs, do the in hall, like the stairs instead of the elevator kind of thing, like, going up the flights. I mean, there's always something, some way, somehow, shape or form you can do something. If you're, it's raining, so I can't go outside and walk. Well, there's, pull up a YouTube video, pull up one of my pull up one of our workouts on YouTube, or Koga workouts, whatever. There's always something, and you don't have to do the whole Koga workout. You don't have to do the whole hour. Just do 5 minutes of it. You normally walk for 5 minutes. It's raining, so pull up a Koga video and do 5 minutes of Koga video. But like I always say, I mean, it's at the end of the day, and I'm repeating myself constantly, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's all about you taking the action. I mean, you're going to do what you want to do, but if you're not going to, take on this 21-day challenge, if you're not going to take on, just moving for 5 minutes every single day, then you're going to take on, being overweight or not in shape, or, aches and
That's
pains in
right.
your joints, or upset and depressed. I mean, it is, it sounds like, it's not that simple, but it is just that simple.
I
But you have to be motivated, and actually, it discipline. So, like, you want to talk about habit forming in 21 days. It's also discipline. You discipline yourself. What is it? Discipline takes over where motivation, stops. Yeah,
That's
like, there's times where I'm not motivated to get up out of bed. I'm not motivated to get to the gym and work out. I'm not motivated to crawl out from my warm bed. It's discipline. It's absolutely
that's
disciplining. Sometimes we do shit that we don't want to do. Why? Because we're
yep.
disciplined to do it. We want the results, whether it's a paycheck, whether it's a monetary paycheck, or whether it's, a body, physical or mental result paycheck. I mean, at the end of the day, it's discipline. We go to we take the kids back and forth to soccer practice and stuff like that. We don't want to, but why do we? Because we have to. It's discipline. We're disciplined to do this. We have to take the kids. So just think about, not don't necessarily think like workout, you have to do workout, but try and find something that you enjoy doing, so you're sneaking it in, without it being like it's a work or workout. Like we talked, I think, a couple episodes ago, where like talking basketball or swimming or racquetball, or
Yeah.
something, so you're getting your exercise in, but lo and behold, wow, guess what, you got some cardio in too. But you don't go and say, oh, I'm going to do my cardio playing basketball. No, I'm going to go play basketball, and guess what, you got some cardio in.
Right.
You don't have weights, do push-ups and air squats. I mean, grab a suitcase and fill it up with books, or clothes or shoes or whatever, and do some rows, whatever. There's always something that you can do to stay active. If it's raining, if it's cold, it just comes down to it, whether you want to do it, what you want more, sleep, or getting your ass up out of bed, and it's cold, and dark. And like I said, the discipline, the 21 days forms the habit, and the discipline keeps it going. And
That's
you
right.
might not be motivated every single day. You might not be motivated every single time. And I guarantee you, I always, and you can look at my calendar. And a friend of mine actually posted something in her stories about something about this too. Millionaires and billionaires, let's just say successful people in anything, whether it's money, business, workout, health, whatever. I'm just talking successful people that are actually getting shit done in their life. Successful people set time aside for manifesting and intending their day. What do I tell y'all every single day I do? I wake up at 4
Yeah.
a.m. Everybody like, why you wake up at 4 a.m.? Because I'm manifesting and I'm intending my day. This is what successful people do. Not and I'm not saying that I'm a millionaire or billionaire by any stretch of the means, but I do consider myself a very successful person. Successful in fitness, successful in my business,
Yep.
successful in a couple of my different businesses, successful mentally, successful physically, successful in my health. So, but how am I doing that? Well, because I'm intending my day, I'm manifesting, I'm talking these things in the now. Like, I'm not saying, well, when I lose 30 pounds, I'm going to get a personal trainer. Get the personal trainer now. Act as if you have whatever it is that you want now. And I tell you guys all the time, when you're manifesting, you have to act as if you have it. If you say one day I'll have, $200 in my wallet, it'll never come, because you're still talking about in the future. If you talk about today, I have, whether you have it or not, if you talk about today, I have XYZ, fill in the blank, you're going to feel like you have it. And the universe doesn't know that you have it or doesn't have it, that you don't have it. It knows how you're feeling, the energy that you're putting out. So if you feel that you have a shit ton of money in your wallet, if you feel that you have that body that you're trying to get, that you inspire to get, you talk it into the now. Talk it as if you have it now, and it will be manifested. On my calendar, you can look at my calendar, and Monday through Friday, I have Danny K in it. 7 o'clock, Danny K, Danny K, Danny K. That's when I get in my workout in. I am not putting anybody else in my workout space. It's mine, right? So
Yep.
manifest your day, intend your day, and put shit in your calendar for you. That's how you get, and nobody else takes that slot, right? So
right.
I mean, that's how you do it. A lot of times people, they need classes. So well, Jon Koga's class is at 5:30 every single day, and I'm gonna put that in my calendar because I'm gonna be there. Well, guess what? You're there because you put it in your calendar because you enjoy doing it. If you didn't have it in your calendar, I bet you wouldn't have gone. If you don't know and you haven't scheduled it out, think about your hair, your eyes, your nails, your eyebrows, eyelashes. We put that shit in our calendar. Why? Because that's important to us, and we get it done. We get those appointments done. So why aren't you important too? Put in that I'm going to work out every single. I'm going to do 50 squats and 3 push-ups and 2 sit-ups, crunches every single day at 5 a.m. Why
Right.
can't? Why don't you own? Why don't you owe yourself that much to give to yourself? Right?
That's awesome. And listen, it's the great news is that you're 100% correct. So, hey, listen, it boils down to, like you said, as we always say, it does. It's mindset. You got to change your mind. You got to get your mindset. You got to get your mind right. Okay, folks, you're not gonna do it if your mind isn't right. If you're not having fun. If you're not listening to the right music, and there are many ways to start. If you haven't done a workout in many years, Danny had mentioned if you have a flight of stairs in your house, just be careful with the stairs because we don't know if you have any ailments.
Right.
But you can do a stairwell. How about this? How about doing if you have to walk out to your mailbox to get your mail every day? Every day you got to get your mail. Do walking lunges. Do 1 walk, 1 air squat. Next step, 2 airs. Your neighbors are going to think you're fucking crazy, but it's okay. They're probably morbidly obese anyway. So just create your own habit. Create that 21-day habit by doing something every day. Upon further review and studying of that 21-day fix and research, excuse me, I noticed that many of the experts had come up with this thing called 2190. So if you Google 21-day fix, you're going to also see something called 2190. And what they're saying is that 21 days to create that habit, within 90 days, you should be able to create the lifestyle of it. Okay. So it should be embedded in your lifestyle. So basically the growing pains of the first 21 days, by the 90th day, it should be routine. It should be a lifestyle. You should be, having a love-hate relationship with it,
Right.
and exciting. Guys, you blink your eyes, 21 days is gone. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danny K and myself are big believers of just live in the now, live in the moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. That all holds true. But you also have to have an end goal, an end result, an end day that you're going to hold yourself accountable. So if you just say, I forget this, I'm going to go day by day. No, you really, because if you fall off on one day, shit, whatever. But if you hold yourself accountable for 21 days, 3 weeks, it's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to work. I mean, it's proven, and you have to, as last podcast we spoke about having fun. If you're not having fun, you're not going to do it. Find something that keeps you moving, that you're having fun. Maybe it's a tap class, maybe it's a dance class that you love, but get yourself started on some kind of program that's going to keep that circulation going. It's going to get your heart rate up. All right, is going to help prevent that osteopenia that you have right now that's going to turn to osteoporosis. These are the things you have to prepare for if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Doesn't matter. I know the 20s and 30s are invincible, but guess what, guys? You're not. You're going to blink your freaking eye,
Right.
and ailments going to rear their ugly head. So if you're sitting back and you're that typical quintessential couch potato right now, saying I'm going to ride the holidays out, all bets are off, I'm throwing in the white towel, so to speak. You can't. You have to get yourself up and enjoy. And like Danny and I've said in the past, if you keep yourself fit through the holidays, you know what? You're not going to feel as bad eating that stuffing, two helpings of stuffing and freaking
Yep.
apple pie, whatever it is that you're eating, the lasagna, the this, the that. It's a bad feeling. Overeating and obesity and waking up, jumping on a scale every day, which I'm not a big fan of, will beat you up completely. Your mind will get completely, you'll go 9 rounds a day and you'll get knocked out every time if you live your life like that. Trust me, guys, you will. You really will. You have to combat it. You have to use something to counter it and to balance it out. You know, if you couldn't succumb to that craving of running into the fast food place, get your ass on that treadmill that night. You know, do something that's going to reinforce what you did with that bad behavior. Okay.
Yep.
Positive reinforcements to that bad behavior. I ate 3 freaking, Hershey's bars last night. I better get my ass up in the morning and I better do something. So
something else, John, make a list of all the foods that you like, the bad foods that you like you just said, the Hershey's, the donuts, the pizza, the whatever. Make a list of that, and then Google, DuckDuckGo, research how many minutes it takes to burn those things off.
That's awesome.
How many minutes of walking, how many minutes of swimming or jogging or whatever it is, and post that to your refrigerator. So, that could be another way to be like, holy crap, and hold yourself accountable, right? So that's the deal too. Like a lot of times people, they just eat the Hershey Kisses or whatever, and they don't even, nobody saw me, so I'm not going to. No, hold yourself accountable. Do yourself that much and hold yourself accountable. So if you put down, I really like my Hershey Kisses. Well, how many 3 Hershey Kisses? What do you have to do? Do you have to walk? And I'm just throwing out a number. Maybe it's, you've researched it and it shows that in order to walk off 3 Hershey Kisses, you have to walk 30 minutes. Okay. So eat the 3 Hershey Kisses, but then go walk for 30 minutes.
Right.
And then,
right.
you know what I mean? Hold yourself accountable. And then let's see, the donut. I've got the donut in my mouth. Oh, in my hand. Let's say it's 45 minutes of jogging. Like,
yep.
Oh shit, I'm not going to do 45 minutes of jogging.
You're going to need half of that donut.
Nope. It'll make you think the consequence. So a lot of times we just do it and then we don't think about the consequence. Think about the consequence before you actually do something. Like when you cross the road, you stop, you think, oh, you know what? I better hold off because this car's coming. If I jump out, I'm going to get hit. You're thinking about the consequence. So you're waiting for that car to go and then you're going to walk. So it's the same thing with the bad foods, with the pizza, the donut, the chocolate, whatever it is. Think about the consequence before you actually put it in your mouth. Are you able to do the consequence? Are you able to take on that 30-minute walk, that 45-minute jog, that 10-minute spin cycle, bicycle ride? If you're not, then don't eat the food. Don't eat it.
And guys, we understand, Danny understands addiction really, really well. We understand that, guys, food is addiction, man. You might be saying, oh, you guys are fitness guys. It's easier said, but Danny's been down that road. Okay. And I'm here to tell you guys that we understand. I know I've battled with it myself. Trust me, where I come home one night, I get home late at night, I'll eat freaking, a bowl of pasta and whatever. And then I'm like, I'm only going to do that tonight. Well, the next night I get home, we're creatures of habit. The next night I get home, same thing, 10 o'clock, 10:30. Oh, what am I doing? I'm eating again a big heavy meal. And before you know it, you do that over a month, a week, 3 weeks time, you're doing hurt to yourself. It's an addictive, the L-dopamine in our brain is a very, very, very tough thing to overcome, in a sense that L-dopamine releasing of the hormone can be helpful, and releasing of it can be, depending on which angle we're looking at it from. Right. You have to be careful with it. So I don't want to go down the L-dopamine lane, but the point I'm trying to make is when you become a creature of habit and you get locked into that every night, okay, I'm going to sit down 11 o'clock. I'm going to watch Gutfeld. I'm going to have my bowl of whatever, because that's what I do every night. My ice cream, my this, my that. You got to break that. You got to try to break that habit. And we know it's addictive. We know that the serotonin levels in our brain and all the chemistries that go, running around wild in our brain, whether it's going to make us sleep or we pass out or our sugar levels spike and we go into an insulin. It's all has to do with the food that we intake and the times that we intake it, ingest it. Yep. Okay. So keep in mind that you have to break that mold. Although I'm going to tie this in right now, if you guys are looking for help, because I'm going to attribute this product, Danny, I'm going to a sidebar right now.
Okay.
Guys, we have a product and it ties in because I'm using it. I'm not talking shit. So many of you guys know over the last 6 months, I think I lost 32 pounds, whatever. I made some changes. It was great. But I also started trying this product from Sizzle called Sizzle Thin. I'm going to hold it up. It's an all natural product, which we can send you guys the ingredients and the link to it. It's going to help block and carb help block the carb cravings of the bad carbs, the sugars, the white starches, and the shit works. It's for real. This does on a scientific level help block the levels in our brain that make us crave these bad foods and sugars and starches. So Sizzle Thin, we have it. If you guys want it, that'll be our featured product of the day. And Danny will send you a link. It's cheap. It's like $40, $50, whatever it is. It lasts a month. Put it to the test.
Yep.
If you're not happy with it, we'll give you your freaking money back. But put it to the test and do it as it said. Because I really think that when I put this to the test, it definitely worked, Danny. But getting back to getting complacent and being a creature of habit and getting set in your ways, give yourself 21 days to break that. Just give it a try. You have to take the first step in holding yourself accountable. And for those of you that are listening, if we're boring you because you guys are locked into a great fitness journey, contribute. Tell us what you would give us some information on what you would suggest that keeps you, strong throughout the holidays, and I listen, some of my clients, I'm not condoning it. But they'll tell me, John, I trained with you. I took 3 classes today. And I'm like, guys, you can't have the extreme. I'm not a big fan of, doing that. And that's not good either, and it's like, yeah, they're in great shape. But yet you still can do yourself harm by overusing, because then you're going to get the inflammation, the joint pain, the back pains. So don't go from one extreme to the next, but let's get you started on a nice program to get you over the next 21 days. Reach out to Danny or myself. And a big part of it, as I'm holding this up, Danny, is read labels. Danny, we get lost in marketing, okay? When we buy a product as consumers, this is the facts. We pick up that product in Walmart, that big freaking keg of what we think is amazing protein or a fat burning supplement, and we see that those 2 beautiful bodies with Danny K's abs on it, and they're ripped and they're shredded, and they're saying you're going to get in 6 days, you're going to lose 90 pounds. And the marketing sucks us in and we buy it. Guys, you have to learn. And matter of fact, it's funny because this is our next topic. You have to learn to be a label reader. You have to learn to read the labels. Guys, the first 3 to 4 ingredients that are on every single label are the ones that you got to pay attention to. There's an abundance of that ingredient. So if it's sugar, if it's white starch, if it's you have, Danny, you're gonna drive it home on this one, okay? So you have to learn to read the labels. Don't look at the label. Don't look at the marketing image on the turn it around and pull their card. Say, these people are out of their freaking minds. And don't be fooled, guys. Don't be fooled by 60 grams of protein in this. There's something called fillers that are in these things that they load this shit up with to fill that vat or that keg up so you can get for $16. That thing can last you 6 months. Don't be fooled. If it looks too good to be true, chances are it is too good to be true. Danny, how do you tell your clients and what do you tell your clients about the importance of reading a freaking label? Take a second out and read. I'm talking, Danny, on hairsprays, on toothpaste. There are certain ingredients that are in these things that say toothpaste, small print, if swallowed, immediately call poison control. Are you shitting me? Toothpaste. Read the labels and learn.
Yeah.
Come on, Dawn, talk to me.
Well, and you mentioned the first 4, the first 3, 4, 5 ingredients are the most important, the most in that product. But sometimes they hide shit. So if you don't see, let's say the first 4 or 5 ingredients is not sugar, right? But you look down and like the 7th word is something that is sugar.
Corn syrup.
You go down and 10 the other 10 the 10th ingredient is something, if you look it up, it is sugar. If you go down and like the 15th ingredient is that word and you look it up and that means sugar. So right there's 3 different kinds of sugar, and I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this.
Excellent
Sorry
point.
about that. But there's 3 different types of sugar in there. Now, combined together, if they put all that sugar together and it would be one of the first 5 ingredients, right? So you got to, not just read the label in that sense, but read the label in that sense. Like, know what is in it. If you don't know what this word is, I don't know. Do you remember that years ago there was these two little kids eating ice cream, and one was Breyers, where they're, it's all natural, and there's only like 6 ingredients, and you can read
Yes.
every single word. And then the one little kid's going over there, Polly, Polly, Polly. Like, you can't say polysorbate 80. You know what I mean? Well, like, if you can't say it, and I'm one for it, like, I can't say a lot of it, but if you're really interested in it, if you can't say that word, look it up and see what it means. And
Yep.
if it means like degreaser, maybe we shouldn't have that in our bodies, right?
Yep.
Um
I hear you.
and another thing, like, think about like the things that we put on our skin. Our skin is the largest organ, right? And it absorbs everything. So if you're putting, like, unhealthy ingredients, outside of our Sizzle hand lotion, body lotion, if you're putting something on that is like chemically, like modified, and got that poly all up in it and
Yep.
everything,
Yep.
it's going inside your body.
Right.
You mentioned hairspray. There was, when my grandmother was first diagnosed with Alzheimer's, aluminum was a big, Alzheimer's, like trigger or whatever. So we had to get rid of like the aluminum pots and pans, look for deodorants and hairsprays and stuff like that doesn't have aluminum in it. Of course, now our jabs have aluminum in it, but I digress. But but those things, like, we have to like be a little bit wiser, and read the labels, and figure it out. And just because John and I say that our Sizzle stuff is chemical free, paraben free, don't take
Research.
our word for it. Research it.
Yep.
We will constantly always tell you that we would never hide anything from you. But if you take one of our bags, one of our containers, and research all the ingredients, and you find something that doesn't sit well with you, let us know.
Danny, okay, I got to bring this in. I got to interrupt you. So folks, for those of you that are listening, we keep mentioning this company, Sizzle, SISEL, Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, and Longevity. Well, I got to make a shout out, as we do often on this podcast, to the late great Tom Maurer, Mower, Tom Maurer, who started Sizzle. Actually started, I think it was called New Age, back in the 80s. But let me tell you what prompted Tom to launch this multi-billion-dollar company that, for the record, and just so you know, makes products for over 800 other companies. Back in the 80s, I believe it was late 70s, early 80s, Tom, who was a scientist, wanted to start a better line of home care products, detergents, hairsprays, gels, toothpaste, liquid laundry detergents, liquid stuff, soap cleaners. And Tom, when he sat down in his lab and he read the label on these products, and he said, son of a gun, he goes, wait a minute, this main ingredient that's in every single one of these products that we're putting on and in our bodies, this is the main ingredient that's used to make antifreeze. What are you?
What?
Wait, hold on. Did I mishear that? Tom Maurer, and I'm looking up to the heavens right now. Tom, we miss you, buddy. We miss you, buddy. He said, how can this be? How is the FDA allowing these products to be sold on the shelves when the main ingredient that's made in these products is used to make antifreeze? Guys, do I need to say any more? Here we are 30 something years later with Sizzle Safe products we have our detergents. I know you guys have Amway and Arbonne. I get all that shit. Great. I shouldn't say like that. No disrespect to them. But here you are, because Tom read a label, he was able, and he's also obviously a scientist. So the other 3 generations of Maurer, Tom Maurer Jr. and Junior Jr., who are running the company. And Lisa, shout out to Lisa, who has his beautiful daughter, who has our makeup line, as Danny had mentioned, metal-free makeup line. Anyway, getting back to labels, because he read that label, he was able to, here we are, how many years later, 30, 40 years later, Danny K and myself loving products, our clients, our members loving, our lives have forever changed. We got a side hustle if you want it. We can generate some serious residual income, but we're not here to throw that at you right now. We're here to tell you to read those freaking labels, because it's not always what it seems to be. Now, Danny, you had said also, because I pay attention sometimes, you had mentioned about the ice cream ad. Guys,
Yeah.
don't be fooled by all natural. Don't let the word all natural suck you in. It can be all sugar is all natural, guys. Okay? Or the
Yep.
word artificial.
Yep.
Don't let those two words skew your judgment or make you decide that one product is better than the other. Just like don't let what's the word? GM organic. You have to do your research on these things, guys. Labels, and it's a shame that the FDA doesn't regulate this, because even though they're trying to promote these things and charge us more money, because God knows these things are more money, it doesn't necessarily. Listen, if the protein bar you're eating tastes like a freaking Snickers, chances are it's probably not that good for you, Danny. Am I right
Yep.
or wrong?
Got a shit ton of sugars. Everybody, when they, oh my God, Danny, do you know this like XYZ, protein bar, whatever, it tastes really good. I'm like, oh, if it tastes really good, it probably got a really good amount of sugar in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't like I don't like protein bars, but obviously the protein bars are better than
I agree.
McDonald's and fast
And a
food and all that
Snickers,
stuff,
I
and
agree.
or not doing anything. However, there are better choices. So look at it. If the sugars are one key thing to look for, if the sugars are higher than the protein, don't get it.
That's right.
Don't get it.
That's right.
Look at the protein, grams, look at the sugar grams. Don't worry about the fat grams, because, we need fat, but the sugar can, we need
That's
sugar
great.
too, but we
That's
don't
great.
need, 30 grams of sugar and only 20
Yeah.
grams of protein.
That's great.
So,
That's a great note to end it on. Guys, you hear what Danny said? When you're reading your labels, 101, reading labels 101, we're going to call it. Make sure your sugar grams are lower than the protein grams, okay? For starters, okay? Yeah, I mean, it sounds complicated because, like you said, when you try to read the polylethyline, ficillin, lacaline, waccoline, smaccoline, and you don't have no
Polly.
idea what the hell sweet poly purebred is. It's like, yeah, you go to your DuckDuckGos, you take out your phone, but who wants to do that on every freaking product we pick up?
Right.
So learn, maybe I could even find, there's got to be a list that has the 10 ingredients that you need to avoid regardless of what kind of product it is, and I'm sure there's somebody put that list together. So go out there and find it, guys. All right, today's podcast I thought was very, very informative, as I always do, but I think all the subjects really tied nicely into each
Yeah.
other. All right, so I want to thank Danny for coming up with some of these topics today. We apologize for the beginning of this shit show that we had in the beginning of the podcast, but we also ask you guys to just respectfully and kindly subscribe if you guys are listening on our platforms across Anchor and Spotify and Google Play. Get out there and hit the subscribe button. It's free. We love what we do. We're climbing the charts because of you guys. Make sure you share it, and make sure if you want to see our pretty faces, get on the lives and share it to your page. Let your family and friends and co-workers and fellow trainers, shit, if they want to get on as one of our guests, we'd love to speak to them about possibly coming on as one of our guest speakers. All right, because that's how we are, and we all learn from each other. And we know that the times right now are kind of have us in the doldrums again with whatever it was, elections and whatnot. But we're also coming into a time that's notorious and known for causing depression and causing excuses. And that's the holiday season. Let's not make this holiday season be a tumultuous time or a time for depression. Let's make it a time with less anxiety. Let's make it a time with more smiles on our faces, with less depression. And I'm here to tell you that I know that fitness and working out and surrounding yourself with like-minded health and wellness individuals, whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's somebody that's going to help you promote a better you. Those are the people you need to surround yourself over the next 21 days. We're here to help you guys. We're here to help you guys create a 21-day habit or fix. And that's why we love doing what we do. Are we making millions of dollars? Absolutely not. But I'll tell you right now that, every time and after every training, every Koga class that I teach, I'm without a doubt grateful and thankful to all the people that allowed Danny and myself to do the things we love. Listen, that's all I got. I'm done. Diarrhea of the mouth is over. I want to thank you guys. Take a look at KogaFit.com. Oh, real quick. Speaking of Koga, so Danny, I know many of you guys. Oh, I should play her song while I'm doing this. Many of you guys have maybe you youngins don't know who she is, but there's an artist out there that I absolutely love. All right, hold on, I'm gonna cue this up, and hold on. There's an artist out there that I absolutely love who I actually saw today has been afflicted with the horrible, horrible disease of ALS. Okay, and that's Roberta Flack. Okay,
Oh
and
shit.
I'm playing her song in the background right now. So I don't know her personally. I'm not going to names drop, but I love this song. I love when the Fugees did it.
Yeah.
And Roberta Flack. If anybody's listening that knows her, we want to send you some love and some prayers and some speedy recovery. But I'll tell you why I'm bringing it up also. Anytime Koga gets Googled, I get an alert from Google saying such and such is researching and looking, at Koga. Well, come to find out that Roberta Flack's manager's name is Suzanne Koga, and she had posted up something online about working out. So it led back to my inbox that Susan Koga, the manager of Roberta Flack, was saying the importance of working out that Roberta Flack has in her life. So I wanted to close it out with saying that, and this is just beautiful, man.
Wow.
So listen, one Koga love. I'm out. Jon Koga. Hit subscribe, and get that 21-day fix. What do you got for us, Danny?
I don't know. You got me in a little bit of an emotional, teary state with that ALS with Roberta Flack. So we're gonna definitely send out some prayers to that to her for all of that. That's a sad thing, and I did not. I haven't heard that until you just mentioned that. So Roberta Flack is one of the ones. She is a freaking icon. But at any rate, y'all, say prayers for everybody. You don't know what anybody
Yes.
is going through.
Yes.
Smile at people. You don't know what they're going through. And just because somebody is shitty with you, you don't know what they're going through. So don't take it personal and just say a small prayer. Don't say anything back to them. Just say a small prayer for them. And whether they hear the prayer or the kind word, it'll get to them anyway, because the universe is just that. The universe does that. Till next time, y'all, stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated. Bye.
Right arms rubbing my back with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
One of the greats.
You got it. Put this song on today. Listen to it, guys.
Yeah.
And like Danny said, pray for everybody, man. All right. Kumbaya. I gotta go.